Welcome to the Popish Plot. I'm Nate.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Mike.
And today, we're here with an episode on the 14 Holy Helpers.
That's right. Not one, not two, 14 saints.
And they're all known for their helperishness, I guess. You're going to have to... They're fairly new concepts to me. I probably know them and have forgotten about them and just need reminding.
All right, well, why don't you start out by pronouncing what they're called?
So, in German, which would have been the language of the Holy Roman Empire, at least at some point, they would have been the 14 Nothelfer.
Mm-hmm.
Which means 14 helpers.
Yep. And in Latin, the language of the church, they would be the Quatuor Decim Auxiliatores.
Yes, and this was a 14th... Well, it started in the 14th century devotion. It started in the Rhineland, so that's probably why it's also
the German
known
name,
in the German.
Now, these are all saints from, obviously, the first 14 centuries of the church, and they were grouped together as the 14 Holy Helpers during the Black Death.
Yes. Although it's not on the complete Roman calendar, locally at various places, they celebrate their feast day on August 8th.
So, the 14 Holy Helpers are
Saints Acacius,
Barbara,
Blaise,
Christopher,
Cyriacus,
Catherine of Alexandria,
Denis,
Elmo,
Eustace,
George,
Giles,
Margaret of Antioch,
Pantaleon,
and Vitus.
Yes, and this started out with just the 3 virgin martyrs in it. They had a rhyme, which I did not write down the original German, but
Sure.
I wrote down the translated.
Yep, so this would have included Margaret, Barbara, and Catherine.
Yes, and basically it's how they all died. So Margaret with the Lindworm, Barbara with the Tower, Catherine with the Wheel. Those are the 3 Holy Maids, which again rhymes with the German.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for a while, starting during the time of Pope Nicholas V, they had indulgences related to this devotion, which have since been removed. And they're all kind of put together because they all have various against disease patronage.
Yep. So, Saint Acacius, whose feast day is May 7th, was the patron saint for headaches.
Yeah, against headaches.
Or against headaches, yes.
Well, yeah. When the church says patron of, we don't mean in favor of.
Yes.
Yes.
Like St. Nicholas, the patron saint of thieves.
Barbara, whose feast day is on December 4th, was fever, sudden death, and
Basically anything that goes boo. It's unrelated to
Kaboom.
the health issues, but you know.
explosion.
It causes health issues.
Blaise.
The great St. Blaise, known on February 3rd for the blessing of the throats.
Catherine's feast day is November 25th, and she was a patron against sudden death, diseases of the tongue, and many other things that weren't related to health.
Christopher, everybody knows for travel, but was also the patron saint against plague, and had his feast day on July 25th.
Cyriacus is his feast on August the 8th. Saint against death, deathbed temptation, diseases of the eyes, and demonic possession.
Ooh.
Indeed.
And then Denis, whose feast day was the 9th, is against headaches and also more demonic possession.
And of course, why would Saint Denis be a patron against headaches? Because he was beheaded.
The head was all in one place. Wherever it is, it's all together.
On that note, next up we have Saint Elmo, whose feast day is June the 2nd, and was the patron saint of the intestines and stomach because, well, legend tells of his having been removed.
Saint Eustace, celebrated on September 20th, is a patron saint against fire and against family discord.
Just a little less health than the rest of them, but you know.
Well, a healthy family is a good thing.
George has his feast day on April 23rd, and it gets to be the patron saint of herpetic diseases. I believe that's liver related things.
Yep. Giles, whose feast day is September 1st, is the only one on this list who is not thought to have been a martyr.
Maybe I'm wrong on that one. But yeah.
It's either liver or blood.
Yeah, fair enough.
I didn't look it up, but
It probably liver because like blood is like hemo.
yeah. So he is the patron against plague, epilepsy, mental illness, and a lot of other non-medical things. Margaret.
Oh,
I just
Margaret.
shortened it.
Okay.
Good old Margie.
Margaret's feast day is on July 27th. Is the patron saint of cancer, tuberculosis, and...
For doctors and midwives.
Oh, for doctors and midwives. Okay.
Excellent. And then Vitus, also known as Guy or Guy, celebrated on June 15th, is a patron saint against epilepsy, cholera, and animal bites.
Especially those that are, rabies or venomous.
And of course, there's the famous...
He was not on the list, so I have no idea what the 13th of the 14th Holy Helpers are.
Fair enough. Pantaleon, pray for us.
So comment below with whatever Pantaleon's patronage is.
Is it cool pants? Probably not.
No, but that'd be awesome. People named Leon. We don't know. No, but there was sometimes a dancing hysteria. A chorea is known as St. Vitus dance. When people sort of go into a dancing madness.
All right.
Because those things are bad. So, back in the day...
Ooh, I found out what happened.
Okay.
I wrote it wrong.
There you go.
So, his things...
Transcription error.
His things are the things that we said for St. Margaret, and hers is also women in childbirth, so related to the midwife, but against backaches and escaping from devils.
So, Pantaleon is against cancer, tuberculosis, and for medical professionals, doctors and midwives especially.
Also
the protection of domestic animals.
Her feast day is July 17th, and his is the 27th.
But so they're clustered. A lot of July there.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it. I like saints in July.
All the best people are born in July.
That's right.
Not that we're biased.
Not at all. Why would we be?
They're totally biased.
So, the 14 Holy Helpers. I do know that there's at least one parish named after the 14 Holy Helpers, because I've seen a very funny photograph from outside that church. 14 Holy Helpers Parish. Whoever's praying for snow, please stop. So there's at least one parish named after the 14 Holy Helpers.
And it's clearly someplace north of the 43rd parallel.
So, one of the things we've lost in the church is a reliance on our brothers and sisters in heaven to help us out with our everyday problems. And it would be a very good thing if we would all foster in our own lives a greater devotion to the saints and more readily called upon their help for everyday problems. A good place to start is, of course, with St. Anthony of Padua for whenever you've lost your keys or whatever.
I mean, he did so much more in his life.
I know! He's a doctor of the church, for pity's sake. We know. But it's a place to start.
I mean, at least you didn't say St. Vitus for dance competitions.
I mean...
You will just not stop!
Dancing machine. So, if you are in a dance contest, maybe invoke St. Vitus's intercession to help you win. I don't know. Oh, I feel like there could be a great movie made out of this. So, get to know the 14 Holy Helpers. Some are famous, like St. George. Others are less famous, like...
The one I forgot.
Saint
like St.
Pantaleon.
Pantaleon. Yeah. I keep wanting to say Pantaleon.
He was not a saint.
He was not a saint.
No, he was not. But we should still pray for him, for the repose of his soul.
Interesting. All right. So, go down below. As with all of our saint-related episodes, give us some saints. I don't know. Maybe they're not all that well known. Maybe they're not all that well known, or maybe they're not all that well known by you, or maybe you just really like this saint and you'd like to see it brought to more people's attention, or them brought to more people's attention.
Give us some more lists of saints that you'd like to know more about.
Yeah.
Who are the 7 sleepers? Why are they sleeping? Other numerically based groups.
Yeah. While you're down that way, make sure to stop off and hit the like button and the subscribe button and the bell next to it.
We appreciate it.
Yep. So you get notified when new episodes come out. It does help, get us noticed a little more, get a little more traction out there in the interwebs.
So more people can join in on the fun.
That's right. And remember to always live your faith
Love your faith.
and
Share that love.
Someone just writes down, in companions. I want to know about
I want to know about the companions. You're going to have to be more specific. Who's companions?
Who's companions?
They've had so much stuff happen to them. Do you know how many times they've been murdered?
All right, it's not just one group of dudes.